Today, we're talking about why you should be buying Shrouded Fable. So, this was a video I was hoping to release prior to the set coming out. Unfortunately, this got delayed a little bit, but still plenty of time to buy the set. Hopefully, I'm able to share some perspective with you all that's different from what you're hearing from others. Again, not a lot of hype around this set initially, but I do think that I have a perspective here that, again, we're not hearing other people say. So hopefully you're able to resonate with some things that you pick up throughout this video. So some considerations that I'm taking into account in the top right: hype around the set, the pull rates, supply, competitive use, and impact on the other buying groups. As a reminder, those other buying groups we went over in the last video, but I copied and pasted those in the bottom left there. We might touch on those in just a minute. But starting with hype, admittedly, this set, very low hype. Might have been one of the lowest hyped up sets all year we've actually had. However, again, I think there's a potential for this to turn around. But some reasons why we were already hearing that, again, there wasn't a lot of excitement around Shrouded Fable. One is people aren't a big fan of the three legendaries from the Scarlet and Violet game. They're not excited about there being a whole set around it. Additionally, it does seem like it's always a little lower, not a lot of hype around. This was just a normal set in Japan, but it was given to us as a special set. Again, kind of a bummer for some people. It's another kind of set that has a lot of emphasis on dark type. We've seen a lot of dark type already throughout the year. And then finally, the most legitimate reason I've been hearing for why it's a little too much right now is because we're going from one special set a year to two. So for Shrouded Fable to be our second special set of the year, again, it is kind of a lot. There's just, the ETBs were delayed as well until August 23rd. The booster bundles for this set don't even come out until the first week of September. Then the second week of September, we have Stellar Crown. So within this set releasing and the next main set coming out, it's only about a 6-week gap. That's a lot, or that's a lot of product and not a lot of time. So again, it does seem like Pokemon's kind of asking a lot for people to come out and buy this set, buy the next set. That is a lot. I think that's the most legitimate reason I've heard for why there's just a little too much going on right now with this set. So not a lot of hype. Again, I'm going to go over some reasons though why I think that that's going to turn around. In fact, I do believe we are already starting to see some of this turnaround initially within the release here, just within the last few days. Additionally, pull rates, I'll go ahead and show the pull rates a little later, but 21% chance to get a hit in the pack, I think that's pretty decent. Again, I think the percent chance for a hit was closer to 30. It was way too much. The price dropped for all these cards early on in Scarlet Violet. So for them to bring it back a little bit, keep the value at a decent spot when opening cards, I think they did a great job. Additionally, I think they also did made some interesting decisions within the set and some of the art choices they made that I do think is going to help, especially with even considering the pull rate. So I'll talk about that in a little bit as well. Supply, this is initially a set that we were hearing that stores were only getting about 50% of their allocation for product. Some even getting less, like 40% of their allocation. Stores are ordering 100 ETBs. They're only getting 40. I think that could have potential to maintain prices for the set. Again, if this is something that's going to be a little harder to find out there, that's great for, again, building up hype around the set, but we don't really know why the supply necessarily stores weren't getting full allocations. We did get the delay for ETBs, so maybe they're just running behind. Maybe it is short printed. There's no confirmation on anything like that, but If supply and allocation remains a little lower, again, potential there to continue to maintain and build up hype over time. Additionally, competitive use. So we've already seen in Japan that some of these cards do have some competitive viability here. So we also have Worlds coming up. It's a great opportunity to showcase the strength of some of these cards. I don't think there's any major game changers here within the set. There's probably a few though that might make their way, a few cards that might make their way into a deck. So again, there is some competitive use. It's not going to make or break the set, but it's definitely at least helping to have a few here and there that people can chase and open and throw into their deck. And then the impact on the other buying groups. So if I go through those buying groups on the left side, hand side there, TCG players, we just talked about competitive use. Investors are going to be buying no matter what. The whales. So again, buying usually no matter what. Price for whales, price is nothing to them. They're gonna buy, regardless. I don't think it was accurate for me to put master set collectors in here. I think that needs to be its own group. Why I think that is because, again, for those that generally master every set, which could be a whale, those people are going to at least start opening cards. They're going to start posting about it. They're going to build up a little hype, right? However, there's only 95 cards within the set. So for those people that want to master sets, but it's expensive, there's too many cards to chase, only having 95 in the set to chase helps a lot kind of bridge that gap and get people that maybe wouldn't master sets previously into mastering a set like this, especially those that, a lot of people that don't master sets mastered 151. Maybe those people, even including myself who haven't mastered a set yet, maybe this is that next stepping stone for those individuals. So I think that helps the set. People are saying that only having 95 cards is a negative for the set. I think that's a positive, especially because, again, the price per pack is generally higher for special sets. Having a little lower, cards in the set to master it, I think that's going to be a positive, and I think that plays into other things we'll talk about again in a little bit. Budget chasers, those people are only going to pick and choose what sets they get into. The focus collectors, again, only buying certain things that they're looking for, Charizards or specific cards. I don't think we're going to have a lot of them get into a set like this. However, the hype followers, again, some of those people that I would classify that buy from me in my store that I classify as hype followers, I've seen a few of them come out and start to pique a little interest in Shrouded Fable, asking what I have in stock, asking if they can order anything. Again, and I'll talk a little bit more about what I think they're chasing in just a minute here. But again, a set that I'm excited to talk a little more about, specifically that product on the bottom left here that we're seeing here. So again, this was everything that was supposed to release on release day. Again, ETBs got delayed until August 23rd. I think what's carrying the hype now for this set though is that product on the bottom left. Again, something we're hearing a lot of people complain about, but I think is a positive for the set. People are complaining, hey, this is a promo card, the Gray Ninja, the Kingdra. I would have rather opened a card like this. Generally, I would agree. We see all the time Pokemon takes a great chase card and they throw it in a box and they kind of take all the excitement away from the chase. This is the only time I would say this was a great move by Pokemon. Again, people gravitate towards the booster bundles. Those don't come out for another month. The ETBs were delayed, which is usually the second chase that, or the second product I see people gravitate towards. Those got delayed. So to have the Gray Ninja and the Kingdra be product you can go out and buy, immediately get a card that you love, and then chase the other cards in the set within those packs that generally people might say is a little overpriced, I think is really working in Pokemon's favor for this set. People are really excited about these promo cards, and making them promo cards, I don't think is detracting from the value of the other cards within the set. I think there's still a lot to chase, and I want to talk about that now for a minute as well. So I'm bringing up TCG Player. First off, the prices, again, it's only been a few days. These might go down. Maybe they'll go up, but they'll most likely go down a little bit. But the prices out the gate are pretty decent for Shrouded Fable. However, I'm not worried about the prices just at this moment. What I really want to focus on are the choices around the SIRs and the IRs, or in other words, the special illustration rares and the illustration rares. Again, this is something I'm hearing people complain about, but I think it's really working in Pokemon's favor for this set. Specifically, I want to draw everyone's attention to a few of the illustration rares like Monkey Dory, Pheasantipity, what's the other one? Okidogi is on the other page. These cards, so Pheasantipity, Monkey Dory on this page, are cards I would generally assume in like the Sword and Shield era, this level of artwork would generally be, in my opinion, something that would be an alternate art card. However, for them to take art this good and put it as an illustration rare, I think was a fantastic move by Pokemon, and I think we're seeing that a little bit within the other illustration rares as well, but the artwork across these is fantastic. And so, but the one thing I really want to call out is they had a choice. They could have made this artwork the special illustration rare, but they chose to make this, a little more basic, arguably a little less exciting artwork, the special illustration, or the chase. Again, I think this was a fantastic move because it gives you a lot more hype when you're going through the packs and pulling a card like this. Again, we all go through, we're always going for our own chase cards, and generally, if you're pulling something that looks like this, you might get a lot more excited. Even though it's cheaper, it's about half the price of the SIR. That feeling coming from Sword and Shield and moving into Scarlet and Violet and pulling a card that has this type of artwork, and I know I'm kind of talking in circles here, but again, I think this was a very fantastic strategic decision by Pokemon to put this as the illustration rare. It's way more exciting to hit, and you're more likely to hit this than, the special illustration rare. So, however, it still gives people something to chase for those that are not going for the artwork and going for the more valuable cards. These cards, although a little more basic, maybe for some not as exciting, they still tell a story. They have these chains, they still connect. People are really excited about that lately when, the artwork kind of all goes together. So it is still something to chase. It's just a little more basic. And for those that aren't really looking for the chase, they care a little less about the value and they care a lot more about the artwork, they can still experience that a lot more readily by just going for these illustration rares here. And again, I think this is a fantastic decision by Pokemon to do that. I think that's really helping with the hype a lot. So I think that all plays together. The promo card choice, the illustration rare choice, the special illustration rare choice. I think those were all great moves that all complement each other really well. And then lastly, the last thing I want to talk about here was just the pull rates. Again, wanted to flash this on the screen. Nothing too much that I wanted to touch on here. But so one more thing though too, again, this whole video, it all, this is all my opinion. It's all my speculation, but there's always an asterisk at the end. And that's we don't know what they're going to do with the print run of this. You know, if they maintain it at decent levels, they maintain a good supply and demand. Hey, this could be a fantastic set again for all the reasons I just listed. However, they could also print this to the ground, you know? So it's all with a little caution. I think personally, I think Pokemon is making decisions to not overprint. I think they had a very hard lesson they learned in the beginning with Scarlet and Violet. They're really trying to avoid that now. We're seeing great supply and demand with their last few sets like Temporal Forces, Twilight Masquerade. You know, we might continue to see that now into Shrouded Fable and Stellar Crown. So this is my these are my thoughts on, you know, Shrouded Fable. I think it has great potential, short term and long term. I think the hype started off very small. However, there's little stepping stones in this set to really help build regular collectors, or step them in and build up that hype over time. Yeah, I think it's a great positive set. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Am I way off base here? Is this a set you're skipping? Is this something that, you know, you initially weren't going to buy, but you're changing your mind as well and going to start, you know, buying a few packs to see what you get? So let me know your thoughts in the comments. With that being said as well, thanks for watching. Do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Helps me out a lot. Enjoyable to also read your comments. So thanks all for your time. Have a great night.